good day, everybody, and how are you guys doing today? Your host here is Brother Meme Chris, and also,
The Gypsy Lady, Eva.
so
Hello,
yes,
everyone.
yes. So we're actually here today. We're going to be actually doing a pre-show a little bit early compared to tomorrow. A lot of people are going to be a lot more busier. Who knows? We might do the show nowadays actually at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So might be a lot easier that way for a lot of us. So there has been a lot though that has taken place over 2023. Um,
Yes.
so Eva, how was your 2023?
Well, I would say in one word, but we can't use that on a broadcast, but it's been crappy.
Yes. So
It started out with medical. I have been very healthy for the vast majority of my life. In the last couple of years, my health has taken a nosedive, and 2023 was a big one.
same here, same here. So we're gonna discuss some of that. Again, though, is for whoever's gonna pop in. Let you know we do actually have live readings. If you guys are actually in a recap, again though, is type in. Send us messages. Our emails are actually at the end, and we would love to actually do readings for you guys. We've been for 40 years. We've been doing with the spiritual community. We've been both doing readings all together. So yes, we do invite you guys actually to take part. So where do we want to start with our list for 2023?
How about way back in February?
February? You don't want
January.
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 All right, all
Sorry.
right. January. Yes. All right. So January basically though is California. We're gonna look actually at the state of California. California was basically getting ready actually for the floods, the disasters actually in the wild fires so that actually took place. So really wonder how bad these fires were.
They were bad. Plus the fact that they came over into Canada and then came down here in Michigan. We had it bad.
Yes. So all right, so that's what actually took place in January. And did anybody pass away though that was famous back in January
Uh,
that you have records of?
hang on.
So,
I have them in alphabetical order, so I don't know. Uh, I know a lot of people. I don't have the list that's in chronological. Let's try that again. I do not have a chronological. I have an alphabetical.
okay,
But I know Raquel Welch died in February.
all right,
That one kind of upset me a little because, like, you know, she went on forever.
yep. And that's the month though that we're going to be talking about next is actually February. So Raquel Walsh did pass away, and go ahead.
I don't know the rest of them. I can give you the rest of them.
So
Uh, I'm looking to see if I can find a list.
it's like gosh, but I'll sort of let you know actually the U.S. Marshal team actually with California they for the Native Americans basically addressed actually to do with the missing and murdered Indigenous women back then.
Yes, that was.
So that right there, thanks to us Canadians, though, we got that started within the states. So let's gratitude actually as Canadians, yes. Um, and it's so true though because there were so many actually within the states so that I actually have gone missing or murdered. So this is not to do with MMIW. This is MMIW two SP. So that's two spirit people also.
Hmm.
Yep. So. Um, and you were saying Raquel Welch did pass away back then, which was devastating. And in that time period, stuff happened to Eva.
I'm still looking for. I had that. I know
So
you gave it to me. I'm looking for it right now. Just bear with me.
don't worry. So Eva actually turned from being awesome to the worst. She was actually hospitalized, actually
Yes.
altogether. Do you want to sort of touch base while you're sort of looking for that?
Well, I was in the hospital for 2 months, uh, February and March, with a very big open wound.
Yeah.
and that developed into lymphedema, and I think that was about it. But I was under medical. I'm still under medical supervision right now. I have been uh found it. And where was I? And I have been released for the one wound, but I still have a second wound that they're probably going to release me for that. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. So my health is coming back slowly but sure. I am still very weak. I have a physical therapist, so I mean I'm still dealing with this.
Yep.
What's very interesting, I got a phone call from a good friend that I've kind of lost touch with, and we got back in touch, and he has been going through some of the same stuff this year. So I'm wondering, what is with this year? Is everybody not feeling well?
I
Is Mercury in a long retrograde or something?
it must be a long grade, because look what basically happened to me this year, and we'll touch base with that. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that actually did happen, especially with people. It's like, who really knows? I guess so that with us actually having the stuff before, all the turmoil, though, that we actually are the gifted ones, because we actually have gone through the experience stuff, and right when time comes, so that people though that are going to be actually left, or what they say left, especially with what's going to happen with the apocalypse, you never know. I guess so that we're going to be the leaders. So, but yes, you never know. Um, so we're gonna look actually at the month of March. You got that March in front of you?
Yes, I
All
do.
right. If you want to sort of touch base about that.
The big thing in March is Trump was indicted by a Manhattan grand jury. Does that count?
Yes. Yeah.
And Biden did visit Ottawa,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we're doing March.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got the list, and I'm looking at. I hate it when they do the pop-ups. God, March. Uh, Let me get here. Most of these people I don't really know. I'm sure they're. Oh, Robert Blake died.
Yeah.
Star of Beretta. Um, I'm looking as I'm reading, because I'm reading through the list that's got everybody and his brother on it. Um, Mark Russell died. He was a satirist. He was extremely funny. You can find him on YouTube, some of his old stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else that I really recognize. I'm sure I just go mostly for the actors and actresses, because I don't know all these sports characters. And I know if I mention it, somebody will know who I'm talking about. And that's about it for right now for March. Your turn.
All right. All right. So that we were gonna look actually at the month of February. February was basically here in southern Ontario. It was pretty much a dry April. It was not as wet as compared to what we've usually had within the past, and I think also Michigan was like that also. But anyway, so is a Florida toddler found in an alligator's mouth died of drowning.
Oh, yes.
Police say. So that was actually one of the big news for Florida. Basically, though, that actually a toddler was found actually in the gator's mouth. Again, though, from living down there, what I can say though is if there's any gators, do not bring any children around that area, around any waters, because you don't know what type of animals are living in that area. There could be snakes, there could be gators, there could be crocodiles, or
Oh, my
even
God.
panthers. within
And you
the.
know what's crazy is people get alligators and they make pets out of them. And I'm like, they're still wild
Wild.
animals.
Yes, yeah. There was a movie a while ago, actually from the 70s. I sort of remember. I sort of remember this. There was a movie that somebody had a pet alligator, and the father got upset, so the father flushed it down the toilet.
Oh, yeah,
So,
gator.
is that the name of it?
I think that was the name of it.
Okay.
And it turned into a monster gator.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. But it
I
would.
remember
But
that
it
one.
would not
I didn't
take.
watch it.
I watched it a little bit, but I was like, nope, click. So,
Oh, uh-uh.
so again, though, that's what took place basically back in April. Any other deaths in the April time period?
In April? Oh, I thought we were doing February.
Nope, nope. We're looking actually at April.
Let me get up there. Hang on. Uh, just let me look. I'm Harry Al Jaffe, who was the creator of Mad Magazine.
Okay.
Uh, Harry Belafonte died in April. That one kind of hurt because his voice was so wonderful. I could sit and listen to him for hours. In fact, I have.
Yeah.
And that's about it of names that I really recognize. Jerry Springer also died in April.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Mr.
thought he was still alive. I thought he was still kicking around.
No, and he was almost 80 when he died.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I never think of him as an old person, but apparently he was.
I know he used to be the mayor of Cincinnati
Yes.
before he actually got the TV show. So yeah.
Oh, and the man who created Dame Edna,
Okay, yeah.
Barry Humphries,
Up
he
those
passed away.
stairs. Up those stairs. So
God, she was funny.
yes, she
He was
was.
funny. I don't know. That was a funny creation. I loved him.
Yeah.
Loved her.
So it's like
Okay, and that's about it.
all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look now actually at the month of May. So I'm gonna get that to Eva, and then comes June. After June, we're gonna go for a quick commercial break.
The month of May. Yeah, the month of May.
Yep.
Um, oh, it says here, I think this is interesting. The Florida school system uh, closed the investigation of a teacher who showed a Disney movie with a gay character. Can you imagine that?
So
And notable deaths in May. Gordon Lightfoot, very famous Canadian.
yes, yes, yes.
Another
He
voice that should not have been stilled.
no Gordon Lightfoot. Actually, if you go to Aurelia, Ontario, to the Opera House, they have a
Oh,
statue there of his face.
mm-hmm.
He actually sang a great song to do with a ship that went down in Lake Superior.
Ah, yes.
So yes, um,
I have to tell you, there's a little story if you don't mind.
no, go ahead.
Uh, a friend of mine plays bagpipes, and she was familiar or was part of the group at Mariners Church in Detroit,
Yep.
and she would play on the date of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. She would always play the pipes there. And one year she was playing it, and there was this person sitting in the back, and she didn't really pay that much attention. And he came out and said he really appreciated that, and it did a wonderful thing. And come to find out, she was talking with Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, that would have been
Isn't
awesome.
that great?
That would have been awesome, like big time.
Mm.
It's like
So he did attend the services there periodically, I understand.
yeah.
So, and he was very familiar with I didn't know this, but he frequented a bar in Port Huron.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I never got to meet him, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So,
So gotcha.
yes.
Yeah. All right. And then anybody
And
else?
Tina Turner also died at that time.
Thank you. That's what I was going to ask.
And Ed Ames.
Yeah.
Barry Newman. George Maharis, you might not remember him. He was a big big in the late 50s, early 60s, and so handsome. Oh my God, I had such a crush on him. And that is about all that I actually recognize. Okay, June, your turn.
All right. So June, though, we'll all remember this for those that actually were in Ontario, across Canada, plus also parts of the states, except for the southern states. The air quality at that time was really, really bad to do with the fires that actually happened sort of in Ontario, and also to do with out in Alberta area. The smoke was so bad. I remember Trevor, the host of HauntingLIVE podcast, a great podcast to listen to. He actually showed me a picture to do with New York City. Now, New York City, their air quality was pretty bad. The picture showed heavy, dense fog, but it was not white fog. It was actually a red fog, sort of smoke style that was hitting New York City. Eva couldn't go outside. I couldn't go outside because of the air quality. Again, though, is because of the smoke, though, that was taking place.
Well, and we were in the thumb of Michigan, and the sky did have a yellow cast to it for many, many days. And like you say, we couldn't really go outside. It was bad.
Yeah. And who passed away in June?
In June, Pat Cooper. He was a comedian. Pat Robinson. I was going to say he was a comedian too, but no, he was evangelist. Very popular here in the United States. Treat Williams. That was kind of a tragic one because he was riding his motorcycle and somebody turned in front of him with no signal.
Sounds like a lot of drivers out there.
Yeah, well,
So
Glenda Jackson, I don't know if you remember her. She was a big star during the 60s, 70s, and even into the 80s. Let's see who's else that I would recognize. Alan Arkin. He was an actor, but he also did a lot of production stuff.
okay.
And he was a comedian. He was very funny. And that's about it that I can see.
Okay.
So many of them are in their 80s and 90s, and then you read one that's only 42.
It's surprising, like of how people are passing away and everything else. But again, those we'll be right back after this break, and we'll see you very shortly.
Amy? Hello? Can you find me? Can you find me? I'm here. Behind you, look. Behind you. I'm behind you.
Another great podcast to listen to is Haunting Live Podcast with your host Trevor, interviewing tons of people throughout the world. Listen on any of your podcast providers.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! That was awesome. Happy New Year.
They'll see you before you see them.
And that's true, though. They'll see you before they see you, especially at New Year's Eve, which is tomorrow night. From us here at Divine Oracle Podcast, do not drink and drive.
Please.
We do encourage you guys actually to think before you guys do this. If you guys are actually at a house party, please have a designated driver or call the cab. So, yeah.
And many places, I know in Detroit, they offer free rides if you're snockered.
Yeah. So again, though, that's our little messages for you guys. So we're going back to the list of what took place actually in 2023. We're gonna look actually at the month of July. So this one here, I'm gonna give to Eva.
Well, that one was a big one, and I remember it. A man drove through a Black Lives Matter protest and killed a demonstrator. And he did agree to a plea deal, but I really don't know what happened. But that was a biggie.
Yeah.
And notable deaths. Peter Nero died. He was a pianist, but he created a lot of movie music. And we have also Tony Bennett. Oh, how could you forget Tony Bennett?
Especially with his music.
I love the story where he did the concerts with was it Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
And they were afraid because he was suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia, however you want to put it. And she was worried and so she had it all set up. But once he started singing, he remembered the words and sang it with perfect pitch, so to speak. And another musician that passed at that in July was Sinead
O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor. O'Connor.
Yeah.
Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. Let's see who else has died. One of the founding members of the Eagles, Randy Meisner. That was a group that, God, they were great. They just did a lot of good stuff. And that's all I find in July.
Alrighty. So we're going to go to the month of August. So I personally took a negative, actually, spill. We were in Stratford, and I think it was called All Over Stratford. So Stratfords throughout the world were gathered at this location, and this location right where we are, actually at that time, is right where we still do the historical ghost tours. Out of the blue, I was spiritually attacked. What most people would say, though, is because I had an ulcer. I never knew I had ulcers at that time. Came out of nowhere and exploded and did damage actually just outside my stomach area. Rushed to the hospital. I was transferred actually to Grand River Hospital in Kitchener. Actually, they did save me. I was isolated for approximately 2.5 weeks of how bad I was. I'm actually here, how to relearn how to walk, and the weather. The weather at that time, I'm not sure if that was actually in August or September, but I'm going to just say it was basically August. The weather here in Ontario went to 45 Celsius, which is 122 Fahrenheit.
That's a little hot. Did you bake cookies at that time?
I was still in the hospital. I had the AC blowing actually on me, so yes. But a lot of people, I bet if they threw an egg actually onto the ground, that egg would have cooked. So,
my health was beginning to come back at that time, so I feel good about that.
Yes.
Still continued to return. Notable deaths of that month. August. Mark Margolius, who was a big actor, Mark. He was one of the big ones in Breaking Bad. And another big one from that time was that passed away in August was Bob Barker. The Price is Right. Come on down.
So
Was his famous line. That is all that I'm recognizing.
all right. Well, Bob Barker was a great guy, though. And I know prior to his death, he did go back actually on the show right when Drew Carey was there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
he has been back actually on the show. And they still call that studio the Bob Barker Studio.
Do you know how old he was?
I would say he was probably.
90. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say he was probably actually in his late 80s.
No, he was 99.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
So that's still young. So,
Well, that depends on how you look at it. If it's a tree, yeah, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
Couldn't resist that.
Alrighty, so that we were going to look actually at the month of October. Month of October.
What about September?
Well, I'm sorry. All right, so September is yours. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Let me get it here. September. Oh, you save the good ones for me, don't you? Trump was added the California Republican 2 days after skipping a debate. Justin and Sophie split and ended. And 2 Toronto men were dead, 6 hurt in a shooting spree outside an Ottawa wedding. That one, yeah, I remember that one. That was like, hey, that's only supposed to happen in the States.
Yeah.
Not outside the States.
So there's so much stuff coming actually to Canada, sort of like the States.
Okay, in September, Jimmy Buffett died. Gary Wright, who was a songster. I'm doing a quick scan here. Roger Whittaker, another voice that just cannot be forgotten. And David McCallum, the man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't know which one was more handsome, Robert Vaughn or David McCallum. They both were high on my list. And that's about it.
Alrighty. So again, now we're going to talk about the month of October.
Okay, and that's yours.
All right. So the month of October, though, McDonald's actually got rid of the McFlurry spoon.
I know.
Right? So I wonder how they're making the McFlurries now. That was big part, though.
I know.
So they got rid of that spoon. This is some of the news actually hitting Canada and the U.S. So yes, and also Halloween. Halloween this year was kind of one of the weirdest Halloweens ever out there. It was wasn't it a full moon around that time period?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So full moon was actually happening at that time, and yeah, the kids this year really a lot of them didn't even go out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how it was down like here actually in Ontario, around our region.
Okay.
Don't know about your region, but yeah, we're gonna see exactly who actually also passed away in the month of October.
One of the big names, Dick Butkus. Thank you. Who was a Hall of Famer linebacker.
Yeah.
He lost. He was in his 80s. Wow. Now I don't know. This one goes way back. Her name was Philip Coates, and she was the first Lois Lane on TV. This goes back into the 50s. Suzanne Summers is another one that passed away. Thigh Master, Three's Companies.
That's what I was going to say, Thigh Master for her.
Yes, and Mark Goddard. He was an actor, and his big thing was Lost in Space. One of the early science fiction on TV. Which was a big show way back when. Richard Roundtree, Shaft. Who could forget him?
Yeah.
And that's about it. I forgot Matthew Perry, also a big name. And his death is still up for debate, but they think it was a combination of things as well as an accidental drowning.
Yeah. Wasn't he actually one of the characters from Friends?
Yes, he was.
And he was Canadian.
Yes, he was.
So.
Canadians give us good actors.
Yes. So.
Oh, Burt Young is another one who died. He was a Rocky actor. He starred in, or not starred, but he was a part of the Rocky franchise. And I don't see any others that I totally recognize.
Alrighty.
And now we go to
November.
Ships of, what was it? Gales of November.
Yes.
Oh, and you saved this one for me again.
Yes.
Donald Trump testifies for defense in a New York civil fraud trial. I mean,
that was Junior. Not Junior, not Senior.
Oh, that's right. I apologize.
So.
Still, it was a Trump. What can you say? I'm bad.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
So.
Bobby Knight died in November. He was a basketball coach, very famous. Frank Borman, who was an astronaut and one of the first to orbit the moon. I don't think he ever got down to the moon, but he was one of the first to go out into space and see a foreign planet. And a Detroit Tiger died. His name was Willie Hernandez. And he was a relief pitcher for the Tigers. Rosalind Carter passed away. She was 96 and her husband's 99. Henry Kissinger, who was 100.
Holy cow. He didn't look like it.
Yeah, I know. Frances Sternhagen. I can tell you. She was an actress and she played the formidable older woman. You know, you didn't want to mess with her. And let's see. I'm not seeing too many others from November.
Alrighty. So what we'll do is we'll look actually at the month of December so far this month here. For the month of December, no snow. A lot of places have not had any snow at all. This is even going up to the northern portion of Canada. Now, also, though, is within the states, 2 states actually have put Trump actually on the block for running for the next president. There could have been 3, but one of the states, though, was Michigan. Though actually did not put that through. I guess that they were too scared to actually put it through.
That's kind of interesting because I've been watching some of the political programs or political commentaries, and that's one of the things that has come up over and over is Michigan was too scared because of some of the things that Trump had threatened to do. It's like, you're letting this man threaten you?
That's my gosh. So, yeah. So, again, though, is Christmas has come. Christmas has gone. The only thing that's bad, though, is so many people celebrate Christmas actually as a one-day event.
Yes.
They open up their gifts right away, and then they don't care about the rest of the day. I heard from a great friend of mine exactly the way, though, that she does actually her Christmas day, and we gave her gratitude for it. So she's got 3 kids, all right, with her husband, which is the 4th kid. Right, but what they do, they open up one toy in the morning. The kids play with that. They have their breakfast. After breakfast, they actually kind of relax, and then all of a sudden they open up the next toy. So throughout the whole day, that what they're doing, they're opening up the toys through the day. All right, not all at once.
Which is kind of neat.
So
I know people who celebrate Christmas on the 12th day of Christmas or the Epiphany.
Yeah.
So they kind of celebrate it for that whole 12-day thing in different ways with different things. They have a Christmas tree, and yes, they do something on Christmas, but that's more of a holy day, not a holiday.
Yeah.
And then you come to the Epiphany, which becomes the holiday.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
And winter solstice just recently happened actually for this month, which was really, really good though. And also, some people actually celebrate their calendar by the old calendar. So the old calendar, Christmas would be actually technically on January 6th.
Yes, the Epiphany.
Yeah. So there has.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and don't forget Hanukkah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't there something like 14 different holidays within this
month?
holiday season?
Yeah. It's
Hence the phrase "Happy Holidays."
That's like gosh. Well, so I posted that actually online, and somebody said to me, "What are you? Are you British?"
Oh, I didn't know they did that.
It's like God. So
okay, let's run quickly through the deaths.
Yeah.
Sandra Day O'Connor, we all know who she was, the first woman on the Supreme Court here in the States. Norman Lear, who just did about everything on TV. I mean, he was just, and one of the founding members of the Moody Blues, Dennis Lane, passed away. Ryan O'Neal. Let's see who else.
Somebody just recently passed away.
Who is that?
Yo-Yo Man.
Oh, Tom Smothers. That's
Yes.
right. It just flipped up on here. Sorry.
So, it's okay.
And yes, the Yo-Yo Man. That one hurt. I didn't realize he was 86 years old.
Yeah.
And that's about it that I can see. Some of these people who passed away, I don't want to say they hurt, but it's like, I don't know. It just doesn't, it feels so bad because it's like they were such a part of my life for so long. And it's like, oh yeah. And then like the founding father of this or the founding father of, it's like they're in their 80s and even 90s. And I'm like, they can't be that old. No. Because that means I'm getting that old too. No.
So, well, Eva, you're gonna live forever.
Oh, I wish.
So it's like
sometimes I think it'd be cool to be an immortal, and other times I think, how boring would that be?
Yeah, it's like God. So, well, you look at people, like some of the people are living to like 120 and everything else like that. It's like holy cow. Cheryl, if you have any questions at all, if you would like to get a reading, feel free to type in. We would love to do a reading before we close off tonight's show. So,
well, you say what did you just say? Oh, golly. That's getting bad.
120 some odd years old?
Yeah, well, I can remember when I was a young person and somebody was 65. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
65. That's like 3 days younger than Moses.
Yeah.
Now it's like, wow, he was 92. He was 97. They were 102.
Yeah. Well, look
at
your mom. Your mom is still kicking around. She's awesome. She's like bouncing everywhere.
Hey, she went to get her hair done this morning. She drove uptown and drove home, and I'm like,
yeah. And how old?
I tell my father to ride with her.
And how young's your mother?
93. She will be 94 this coming year.
Yeah. So just before we go, we're gonna do a quick reading. So I know Cheryl's actually there, but again, we're going to just do a quick reading for exactly the beginning of 2024. So we're going to see exactly how things are going to go for that. It could be with news. It could be with anything general. So. While I'm shuffling, though, I had a card pop out. So.
Interesting.
And that's what Cheryl is looking for, is a reading for just a general reading for 2024.
The beginning of 2020. I've got the Star.
Yeah.
The Knight of Coins. The Four of Wands. And it's kind of interesting because it has the Major Arcana, the Royal, and a pip card. So, or minor arcana, depending on how you want to use it. I think from this, now this is just for the beginning, I think January is going to see a lot of upheaval, and a lot of things are going to come to light, if you want to put it that way, hence the star. But because it's the star and not the sun, I would say it has to do with the fact that these things have been in the dark for a long while, and they're going to start coming out. Now, I don't know if this is about Trump or not. I would say basically it's kind of an overall picture, and Trump is just a part of it. And then we're going to move to the Knight of Coins, and he is a guardian. And I'm thinking that that's telling us that there's a lot of things that are going to be exposed, hence this, with the star. But there's going to be somebody who's kind of watching out and letting these things out in a way so that it's not going to panic. Does that make sense? I don't know. That was what I was. And then we go to the Four of Wands. And I always like this card in any deck because it's a very happy card. Not so much there, but in many of the others, you see the gate, if you want to use that, or the four in a square, because there are people dancing around and having a party. And I think a lot of good things are going to happen in the coming year. And the decisive card is the Seven of Wands. Yeah, there we go. And that one tells me that we're going to have to also, the whole year is one year that we're going to have to really kind of watch ourselves in the way we do things, because, okay, I'm sorry. I was just told, wait a minute, that card is about some of the wars that are going on.
Yeah.
The Ukraine is going to be a big problem for us because Putin is going to step it up, and he is really going to step it up. Israel, Hamas is going to be another problem because, again, they're already moving into other territories, and I think we're going to be fighting a war on two fronts. Just my opinion. I hope I'm wrong.
Now, would that be the States or States and Canada?
The States. I don't get Canada's going to stay back here and say, okay, we'll help wherever you want us to, but we're not going to get involved.
Okay.
And I don't blame them.
All right.
That's it. I'm moving to Canada.
Come on over here. There's so much different changes that you'd have to get used to. So, but come on over. All right. So I'm actually using the Spirit Native cards right now. Cheryl, this is actually for you directly. The first card I got was the Sweat Lodge right here.
Excuse me.
So Sweat Lodge right there. Second one though is Storyteller. Second one. The third one though is Flowing River. All right, so with the first one though, actually Sweat Lodge though, you're going to do a little bit more meditation all together. You're going to get more in contact with your angels and ancestors compared to what you are this year is what you're going to be doing for the beginning actually of the new year and throughout the now within the middle of the new year though, you're going to do, since you did have the Storyteller card, you're going to actually be doing a little bit more storytelling, not basically saying stories, but you're going to be letting more people know about more information coming to them. You're going to deal more with actually your angels. They're going to come forward and help you a lot better. You're going to help direct people more within the right path, which way they're going to go. Now, closer towards the end of the year, the Flowing River, all right? We all know that water doesn't like to stay still. So you're going to be more active than what you were this year. You're going to be a little bit more active. You're going to be actually out there more. So you're going to be out there a little bit more than what's happened. Now, what I mean by that, though, you're going to actually get out there. You're going to be able to do a little bit more reading. So actually, all together, you're going to help out more with your daughter within your daughter's work area. First card that popped out was an upside down medicine man and woman. So this one here is general for everybody. So a lot of medication though that we've been taking throughout over the years. A lot of us that we're going to be backing away from, and that basically means with the flu shots and everything else, even with the COVID shots, we're going to be staying away from those ones there. We're going to be finding out though that some of the medication though that has been given to us is not the proper medication. We're going to be doing more or less the true medication though that actually speaks to us morally. For us Indigenous, though, we're going to stay more with our heritage medicine instead of always running to the doctors. Now, for the non-Indigenous, though, you guys are going to realize, hey, yeah, medication. There's some good medication out there, some though that the doctors have been giving to us that have actually helped. Sorry, not helped, but have steered us in the wrong way. So we're going to start realizing what medicines though that we need really. So that's what I have. Eva's right there pondering.
Not really. Just yeah, I guess I'm thinking about this year is it's interesting. It's an 8-year. 2 and 0 is 2, and 2 is 4, and 4 is 8.
Yeah.
And so this is an 8-year, and 8 is as above, so below. If you remember, 8 is 2 circles.
Yeah.
2 circles. Try doing that with your hands.
But go on though.
Anyway, 8 is an as above, so below, and it's a year of balance. If you're looking at it from a numerological standpoint, but I don't know. Maybe it's because there'll be war here, but peace there.
Yeah.
There'll be something here and the opposite there type thing. Places that, but I get that there's some things that are going to happen that is going to surprise the bejeebies out of everyone. And I'm not sure what it is. They're not showing me. I even looked at the crystal ball and that's not showing me. So it's like, this is something that has to be, it has to be a total surprise. I'm sure somebody with more abilities than this bag of bones, could do a lot better, but I just get that there's just going to be a lot of as above, so below. So there's going to be a lot of, I don't want to say contradiction. That's not it. But like I say, war here, peace there.
Yeah.
Good weather here, bad weather there. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so sort of like yin yang.
Yes, very much so. And it's just, this is the year that it's going to be. And I know we're electing a new president here in the United States. I get, and I have had this feeling for some time, and it's still with me no matter how I try and manipulate it, because I know Trump is becoming more and more popular. I still feel that he is not the one that's going to be, he's not going to be a candidate, and neither is Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be, again, the surprise. And whoever the two run, they are going to be opposites. They're going to contradict each other in some good ways and some bad ways. And it's going to be interesting, very, very interesting. And I hope people use their intelligence and know which one to pick, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
As for Canada, one of the key things I keep picking up about Canada is Canada too is going to be in for some surprises. I know Trudeau just recently divorced his wife, or his wife divorced him. He's going to come out with something that's going to surprise a lot of people. And it's not going to be bad, it's not going to be good, but it's going to be a surprise. Canada is going to see itself raising, becoming more known on the world stage. They've got some things going that we don't really know about quite yet, and it has to do with some of the stuff that's happening in the Ukraine as well as what's happening in Israel, but also what's happening in China, because there's going to be something happening there too, and Canada is going to play a part of that one. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that's awesome. That's awesome. So these are, again though, these are just readings so that we're getting actually from this spiritual community. Eva's given her predictions. My prediction though is so that everybody's going to get along a lot better, and people are going to start waking up and smelling the coffee. The coffee's been brewing for so long, but there's been so many people with their eyes shut, and people are going to start waking up and realizing, hey, we need to get things going the right way, not the wrong way. And one of the wrong way people, though, is actually with Trump. Trump has actually done damage, which us Canadians, we realized right from the start, before he got elected. Look right where he is right now. We Canadians, we saw this. A lot of Americans did not see it, right? And some Americans did see it. So yeah, listen to your brother that's up north, because we can actually see everything. Sort of like Santa Claus can watch over top of everybody, see if you're being good or bad. So again, though, these are just for entertainment purposes. We do say thanks a lot, and our next show will be actually on I think it's the 6th, though. It's actually our next show, which will be actually on a Saturday. The 13th, though, unfortunately, there will not be any show, as I will be in Toronto for the night before, from the 12th to the 13th. So, yes. I might give it over to Eva to do. Who knows? So, alrighty. So,
are you sure you want to do that?
So,
I'm going to come back and go, oh my God, what did she do?
It's like I so, but yeah. Again, though, as we do say, Happy New Year's to everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you guys come to the New Year. Talk to you guys later.
Happy New Year to everyone, and go out and get them.
So yeah. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.
Have a great week. Bye-bye.
There we go. Yes. So. Yes. Okay. Yeah.